The truth about roof overlays. Most contractors will tell you that putting new shingles over old ones is a great way to save money. But after 20 years of roofing in New Jersey, I've seen what really happens when homeowners choose overlays, and the truth might surprise you. I'm John Kabarakis, and I've been protecting New Jersey homes for over 2 decades. Today, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about roof overlays. When they work, when they don't, and the hidden cost that most homeowners never consider until it's too late. Think of this as your complete guide to making an informed decision about one of the most important investments in your home's protection. The overlay reality check. Yes, but let me explain exactly what a roof overlay is and when it's actually allowed. In most cases, as long as you currently only have one layer of roof on your home, yes, you can add another layer of asphalt shingles on top of that existing roof. Building codes in most areas will only allow you to have a maximum of 2 layers of asphalt shingles on your roof. Think of a roof overlay like putting a Band-Aid over a cut without cleaning the wound first. It might look better on the surface, but what's happening underneath determines whether you've solved the problem or just hidden it. Here's what you need to understand. The reason for this 2-layer limit is fire safety. Though most asphalt shingles sold today are Class A fire rated, they are still flammable. The more asphalt shingles you have up on your roof, the more fuel you will have in the event of a fire. This is important because even with modern fire-resistant materials, we are essentially adding combustible material to your home's structure. What this means for you specifically is that while overlays can be done legally and safely in most cases, there are real safety considerations that go beyond just the immediate installation. Here's exactly how to think about this. Class A fire rating doesn't mean fireproof, it means fire resistant. In other words, these materials will resist ignition and slow the spread of fire, but they can still burn under the right conditions. To put it simply, more layers equal more potential fuel, which is why building codes strictly limit this practice. The hidden damage trap. Here's what separates a smart overlay from a costly mistake. Knowing what's happening under those old shingles before you cover them up forever. If you are already having leaks, it may not be a good idea to add a second layer of shingles. Let me explain why this matters so much. If the leaks are minor and you're sure they haven't caused any damage to your roof decking, then you should be fine. But if the leaks are more severe and they have damage to your roof decking, you will definitely want to repair that deck before adding a new roof on top. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a small crack in your foundation, and instead of fixing it, you decide to just build another floor on top. That crack doesn't disappear. It gets worse over time, and now you have an even bigger problem because you can't access it easily. Here's what happens in real-world situations. I've seen homeowners choose overlays to save money up front, only to discover years later that water damage was occurring underneath the entire time. The overlay actually trapped moisture against the old shingles and decking, accelerating the deterioration process. What this tells us is that proper inspection is absolutely critical before making the decision to add a second layer of shingles over your existing shingles. This means that any leaks, no matter how minor they seem, need to be thoroughly investigated and addressed. Here's why this matters. Once you put that second layer on, you've essentially sealed away any problems that exist, making future repairs more complicated and more expensive. The key thing to understand is that overlays work best on roofs that are in fundamentally good condition but are simply showing their age cosmetically. If there are any structural issues, moisture problems, or significant wear, an overlay becomes a temporary Band-Aid rather than a long-term solution. The shape and appearance reality. The second layer of shingles will take the shape of the existing layer. Let me break down exactly what this means for your home's appearance and performance. So if you're putting shingles on top of 3-tab shingles, the new shingles will normally lay pretty flat. However, if you are putting the second layer of shingles on top of dimensional shingles, this may create some waviness in that new roof layer. Think of it like putting new wallpaper over old wallpaper. Every bump, ridge, and imperfection shows through. The new layer essentially becomes a mirror of what's underneath, which means that any problems with the existing shingle layout become magnified. Here's what this means for you specifically. If your current roof has dimensional or architectural shingles, those raised patterns and textures will telegraph through the new layer. This can create an uneven surface that can affect both the appearance and the performance of your new roof. Let me give you a real example from my experience. I had a homeowner in Union who wanted to overlay existing dimensional shingles with new dimensional shingles to save money. We told him that it would not work for him and that the low pitch on his roof was an exacerbating issue. He hired another contractor that agreed to do it, and the result was a wavy, uneven appearance that looked terrible and actually created areas where water could pool instead of flowing properly off of the roof. Here's exactly how this affects your home. Water drainage depends on smooth, consistent slopes. When you have waviness or unevenness, you create microvalleys where water can sit, potentially leading to premature wear and even leaks over time. What this tells us is that the type of existing shingles you have plays a crucial role in determining whether an overlay is a good choice. Flat, 3-tab shingles provide the best foundation for an overlay, while dimensional shingles can create challenges that affect both aesthetics and performance. The warranty wake-up call. Most homeowners focus on the upfront savings of an overlay. But here's what the shingle manufacturers don't advertise. Choosing an overlay could cost you thousands in warranty protection. Most manufacturers require that old roofs be torn off in order to qualify for their top-tier warranties. This is also something to consider when deciding if you should add a second layer or not. Here's why this matters for your investment. When you purchase premium shingles, you're not just buying the material, you're buying the manufacturer's confidence in that material, backed by comprehensive warranty coverage. These warranties can cover defects, premature failure, and even wind damage for decades. Here's the financial reality. Research shows that a roof overlay typically costs approximately 25% less than a complete tear-off upfront. That sounds great until you realize what you might be giving up. Premium shingle warranties can be worth thousands of dollars in coverage, and losing that protection can actually cost you more in the long run. Let me give you a specific example. I worked with a family in Toms River who chose an overlay to save a few $1,000s up front. 3 years after the new roof was installed, they experienced premature shingle failure due to a manufacturing defect. Because they had done an overlay, they weren't eligible for the manufacturer's warranty replacement that covers all of the costs involved in replacing a roof should there be a claim. The cost to tear off both layers and replace everything, $18,000, more than double what they would have paid originally for a proper tear-off and replacement, and they were on the hook for the majority of that cost due to their very limited warranty coverage. Here's what this means for New Jersey homeowners specifically. Our climate puts significant stress on roofing materials. We deal with ice dams, high winds, heavy snow loads, and temperature extremes. Having full warranty protection isn't just nice to have, it is essential insurance for your investment. If you're considering an overlay for your New Jersey home, the most important step is getting a professional assessment for your current roof condition. At Fortified Roofing, we offer these comprehensive roof inspections that help homeowners make informed decisions about their roofing investment. You can learn more about my inspection process in the description below. The key thing to understand is that warranty protection becomes even more valuable over time. What this tells us is that the short-term savings of an overlay need to be weighed against the long-term value of comprehensive warranty coverage, making the right decision for your New Jersey home. After 2 decades of roofing in New Jersey, I've learned that the best roofing decision isn't always the cheapest one up front. It's the one that protects your family and your investment for the long term. Here's my professional framework for when overlays make sense versus when a complete tear-off is necessary. Overlays can work when you have a single layer of shingles in good structural condition, no significant leaks or deck damage, and you understand and accept the warranty limitations. The existing shingles should be relatively flat, and the roof structure should be sound. However, a complete tear-off is necessary when there is any existing deck damage, multiple layers already present, significant leaks or moisture issues, or when you want full manufacturer warranty protection. It's also the better choice when you're planning to stay in your home long-term and want maximum durability. Here's what makes this decision even more important for New Jersey homeowners. Our climate is particularly demanding on roofing systems. We face ice dams in winter, severe thunderstorms in summer, and the occasional hurricane or nor'easter. Your roof needs to perform flawlessly under these conditions. Let me share what I've observed over 20 years. Homeowners who choose the comprehensive approach, proper tear-off, quality materials, and professional installation consistently report higher satisfaction, fewer problems, and better long-term value. Those who choose overlays to save money often find themselves dealing with issues sooner than expected. The key thing to understand is that this decision affects more than just your roof. It impacts your home's value, your family's safety, your energy costs, and your peace of mind during severe weather. Here's exactly how to approach this decision. Start with a thorough professional inspection. Understand the true condition of your existing roof, including the decking, flashing, and ventilation systems. Get a clear picture of what warranty protection you'll have with each option. Then make your decision based on your long-term plans for the home and your tolerance for future risk. What this tells us is that the right choice depends on your specific situation, but it should always be an informed choice based on professional assessment rather than price alone. So here's the truth about overlays. They can work, but only under the right conditions. You need a single layer of shingles in good condition, no significant leaks or deck damage, and you need to understand the warranty implications. Most importantly, you need a professional assessment to make sure you're making the right choice for your specific situation. But knowing when to choose an overlay is just part of protecting your roofing investment. The bigger question is, how do you know if your current roof is even a candidate for any kind of repair or replacement? In my next video, I'm going to show you the 5 warning signs that your roof needs immediate attention, signs that most homeowners miss until it's too late. These are the early indicators that can save you thousands if you catch them in time.